unravel a
Well,
headphone cable?
I spun it a couple of times, obviously, and I grabbed it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need
The
it.
whole gang's here.
No, your little brother's missing.
Yeah, it's okay. He's not part of the team.
Well, I got to bring that mic way down now.
Yeah.
Jack's
Well,
gonna
Jack
actually-
used to be pretty bad because he would start looking like over here.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Or I remember
And now
the
it's
first time you were
directional.
here, you can tweak it anyway. I remember you would walk around the studio, like looking at the photos on the wall. Like,
Well, they're so interesting. I mean, I swear, I'm in that one.
you are in that one.
I know.
Did you see Russ Sturgeon's post on Facebook?
I don't.
Picture of him on downtown Criterium.
No,
It's pretty cool.
really.
The Facebooks.
Did you get a haircut?
The Facebooks. Yes, I did.
I need a
No, you know what I say when people ask me that? I said, no, I got every one of them cut, not just a haircut.
Oh, you got hairs cut.
So
Yeah,
you know that
yours.
toy that come out of Denmark that are you stack and they got little dots all over.
Dominoes?
No,
Shit.
they have a big city and then
Legos?
Lego, no S. There is no S. That
But-
is an
but-
American thing.
But a bag of them would be Legos.
A Lego. It is always Lego.
If I have one,
It's
Lego.
Lego. Look on the box.
Lego, but what's it plural then?
Look at
Yeah.
Lego.
That's like
Lego. No,
Lego.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
gotta choose one.
Yeah. I'm no
drink in
damn.
there.
well,
Denmark
that's where it comes from.
It's
And they
Really?
the Americans are the only ones that put S's on them.
blueberry.
Everybody's like, you know, you're
we
an
do.
American. It's kind of like saying this is 3.
Yeah.
And that's
we
three.
get 3. Yeah.
If you say Legos, you're American.
Or espresso.
Espresso.
No,
that-
I don't. You just don't do that.
Drives
That
me
means
crazy.
you're just
Americans
a redneck.
do.
Well, I was listening to
Asshole.
a cycling podcast the other day where one of the hosts says especially a lot, and I'm
Not this show.
nope.
Jack, why?
I listen to other shows. I listened to the move on the way here.
Oh,
too.
you. Yeah.
Hey, but Lance only does the ads. He's not on the show.
Well, that's
Doesn't
Lance's
matter.
The
show.
latest ones.
Who
Really?
likes it's still lying in
I've
his
never
pockets.
heard of it.
It's Johan Brunel and some dude.
George Hincapie.
No,
and-
it was some dude I didn't even recognize his name, and they did all right.
George's kid won
Ro-
junior
Brunel.
nationals.
Yeah, again, road nationals. No, no.
Yeah. Road. Yeah.
Road.
Junior
He
road.
was national champion.
Was he junior?
Yeah.
Cycle. Yeah.
14,
Cyclocross was
15.
in Christmas.
Yeah.
Wintertime, okay.
No. I was saying I thought he was a senior now, but
No, he's only 14, 15, or maybe he's 15, 16. Yeah,
that's how
15,
George
16.
did it.
Yep.
He was just like that.
Yep.
That one's at
Yep.
20%.
20?
Anzo is his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
That
one's
should be fine.
not working? That one's not working.
That one is working.
That dark one is?
Yeah.
Pat and
The
I
flashing green is not.
had
It's not.
That one's at 19%.
Rich Hincapie racing with us.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both had him as a roommate at different places.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You got to watch out for my brother. He is winning crits, 1-2 crits. He's 14 years old in New York area. You just watch out for him." And he was like, "So right."
Yeah.
My voice sounds funny in this.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
It's because the volume's way up.
Am I blasting you guys out?
No.
Jack, shut up!
Don't be rude.
Ooh, I see a hairy Gary. Tell me that thing's
I
coming
loaned
out.
mine out and never got it back.
Speaking of bikes, do you want yours back for
No.
Thursday? No. Okay.
No.
I don't want to like.
I pimped out that Serrata.
What? Yeah. I see a lightning. I see a lightning bolt in the middle of it. So it is charging. It should be charging now.
I honestly wonder if I'm even going to be riding that thing for the RC3.
Wow.
Oh, you're
This
considering it?
Serrata is
Is it? What's it
What
made
group
of?
do you have?
it's steel.
I wrote a steel Serrata.
It is. It's a Colorado TG. It is
What era? What year?
1993.
I had. Is
Yeah.
it TIG welded?
Yes.
Is it- so
Yeah.
so I had that one in I had
So
that one
all more-
in just after Granny's in
one's not.
Caribbean Blue.
Yeah,
I got it
it's not
straight
big.
from
It's not-
the
I
mechanic that
didn't-
worked
we've
for.
got-
Your
you're
dad's
working
is
with
kind of a
me.
light green.
It's
isn't
light
it?
green.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah, okay. I'll get some.
Does it have yellow letters?
Something was wrong
Yeah.
over there, so I had.
What size is
camera
it?
that
No,
just
it's
wasn't
his.
working.
He got it custom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
but a TIG welded steel frame, true temper, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it true
Percentage
temper
is
you
going up now.
Is it?
I think those
I thought
were.
he used. I thought he started using Columbus. at that point. True Temper he used it a lot, but then
I know.
No, I think it is.
But
true. I think it's
1993
true.
is when I bought it
That
too.
is it. Yeah.
It's crazy. That's when I bought it. It was 93.
It's
Like,
the
I lost
coolest-
my
it is the
granny's bike and
coolest
I-
bike.
I loved it.
It is so comfortable.
I wish I had all my old bikes.
Doing great.
Yeah, I'm never getting rid of it.
Someday we should record a podcast.
oh, sorry.
We're already recording.
We're
it.
talking about bikes.
Yeah. We have
Steel
something in
bikes.
common.
Yeah.
He's riding a bike from
It's
our
not
era.
a podcast if I don't have control.
I bridge
Oh.
the gap here between you guys and Jackson.
Yeah, like it's almost like you
Yeah.
are generationally. Yeah, you do.
In the
So-
middle.
Yeah, you are.
So you're not full on old enough to wear diapers. You're
Nope.
just kind of pissing in
Wait,
your
do you
pants
wear
and don't
diapers?
really know it.
Yeah.
Do you wear diapers?
I'm not. Before we begin, it's that time. That's right, everybody. Sponsor Mitch. Did you
Apparently, he stands to wipe.
I forgot he was back until he started interrupting me during sponsor rates.
sorry.
Gooder sunglasses are back, you guys. Our friends at Gooder are back. We love Gooder. We love variety. We love the quality. We love the style, the non-slip, the gentle bathing of humor in their advertisements. And most of all, their price. So affordable, you can afford to buy more than one. Use the link at packfiller.com today, and we will have product to hand out to all of our show patrons. That's right. If you're on that list, Gooder. Reynolds wheels, people. Solid, fast, gorgeous, and one of the best warranty programs out there, apparently. I haven't had a warranty, and I hope you don't, Jackson. Don't break any more stuff. We believe in these wheels, and you should too. Head to mojocyclery.com or do the right thing and visit them in the Spokane Valley at 1405 North Argonne. Huel stands for human fuel, and that it is. Among their amazing selection of real fuel, we are promoting the Black Edition Shake, 40 grams of protein per meal. Super convenient, super tasty, and ingredients like coconut, sunflower seeds, brown rice, and flax seeds. Where does a flax seed come from?
Flax.
Is there like a flax plant?
It's
What
a
is it?
grain.
It's like a
grain,
It's like-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a grain. It's
Oh,
like-
it is.
like-
Okay.
yeah.
Looks like barley.
Was that a really stupid question on my part?
No.
No.
There are
No,
no
no,
such
no.
things as stupid
right.
questions here.
Yeah. No
That was pretty stupid, though. I mean,
I mean, what did poppy seeds come from?
the poppy flower. I've seen the poppy flower. I haven't seen the flax plant.
It's fair. Don't listen to him.
What
I will
about,
not-
What about coriander?
Just ignore him.
One of them,
Coriander.
cumin comes from.
No.
One of them.
Cilantro.
What's the cilantro? Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, this is my go-to morning fuel. It equates to just $2.50 a meal. Be sure to get to packfiller.com. Use that link. Not only support the show, but grab great tasting, affordable meals. Trust me. Huel.com. Packfiller. And if it's on, I'm just gonna say I'm fully prepared. If you guys want to flip me shit, I am fully prepared. My wife had a shitty day at work, and I just spent the last 20 minutes hearing the world's longest run-on sentence. It didn't stop. I think she just omitted.
Go up for air.
Instead of periods in her sentences, she used the word fuck.
That's a good period.
There's one.
Yeah.
That was one. Yeah.
Man, that's so you guys both swear like that.
I probably brought her down to the dark side. The countdown continues while I speak. There's less than 1 day to summer. Well, if you look outside, you're full of shit. While I speak, I already said that. David Waples, while I speak, is quietly working. Get it? Quietly. And not here having a glass of pervy pills. So, there we go. Sorry, David. Oh, well, we are here. It's Tuesday, and it's time for another edition of Life on Two Wheels, the Packfiller Podcast. I'm Pat Bulger. Let's see who's here. If you aren't already watching on our now reduced to 3-camera YouTube feed, we are live every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Spokane time, by the way. Panel, when I ask, you will answer. You ready? What's the worst date you have ever been on? The worst date. You don't have to name any names. We don't want any, slander lawsuits popping out here, but, just a really bad date.
Oh, I just put it together. I was like, wait, you have to choose.
Well, I have.
One of them has to stand out.
I don't know where you're going.
I don't
Didn't
know.
you? Did you? You haven't dated anybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it! That would have been a good story.
First of all, he's the guy who offsets the bicycle commute to work by driving in a car almost all day. Mr.
Yeah.
Palmain.
I know. Counterbalance.
Get your carbon offsets
Yeah.
nice and neutral. All right, man.
Right, zero. Doing well.
Nice shirt.
Yeah.
I think Sam should like our shirts.
God, you guys are both rapping hard.
I don't have one.
What are you
Respect.
wearing?
You don't have one?
You gonna wear
Oh,
one?
I can remedy that.
Did you just
You have
complain
one?
about not having a shirt?
You know what?
Jesus.
He's the derailer. He
I have the
derails
stickers
every
on it.
conversation this podcast has.
Yeah. We're going to get all these wonderful comments going, and all of a sudden it's just going to be like, well, I just sleep alone in a bed by myself in the driveway.
I don't.
Paul, what's the worst date you ever been on?
It was this girl. She really liked me, and she thought I would enjoy the ice capades. There is nothing that I hate more than sitting on my butt. And I remember at intermission thinking, thank God that's over. And she goes, no, this is intermission.
Oh,
I
no.
thought, I can't handle this.
Did you leave?
No, I'm not that cruel. But it was to this day the most miserable 3 hours that I spent sitting on my ass. I hate the ice capades.
This is a guy who will watch
I'm
transition
watching-
stages of the Tour de France
It's way
from
better
beginning to
than
end.
ice capades. It's like I don't even care. Is it a double Fruit Loop? What is that? I don't know.
All right, there we go. Next, he's the guy who fits people to bikes but still has a sore back, Mr. Sam Waples.
Gosh,
How are
yeah, I
you, man?
know. I'm
You're like,
so old for my age.
you sounded like my loving mother. My sciatica!
When I rolled in,
I got the sciatica!
I'm like hunched over. Oh God.
Yeah.
But on that same note of like peeing on a track, they filled in those cracks.
Yeah.
They did.
It was
Much
the
better.
best racing I've ever done out there. Like I think that's going to be the benefit of.
Oh, shit.
you
We
know-
haven't talked about that race, have we? We're going to have to do that.
No,
next
because that's
show.
going to be on this show because that
yeah,
was anyway. It was great.
It was great for the 5 laps I rode it.
We'll touch back on that later.
Self-deprecation. Sam, bad date.
Yeah.
Was that your nickname in college?
Yeah.
Sam
no.
bad date?
I really didn't. I had one other girlfriend besides my wife. And that
Oh.
didn't go very well.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm gonna say one other time that it was like I really wanted to date this girl, but she definitely had no interest. I bring back a bag of Laffy Taffy saltwater taffy from the Oregon coast, and
That's
I'm
the
just
way to a
like,
woman's heart.
I was thinking so.
Yeah.
I bring it back and I'm like, hey, can we hang out? And I got something from the Oregon coast. She's like, yeah, sure. How about we just meet at the park? We're in high school at this point.
Yeah.
And we go and we sit
You're
on
going
the
like,
swings.
park. We're
Yeah.
going to sit on the swings. We're going to mash.
Yeah. We sit on the swings and it's the most awkward thing. I just like give her this bag of candy. We have some of it. And then she walks home. I'm like, okay, bye.
Was that
Yeah.
the one
It was
other?
so awkward.
That wasn't
and
the other
uncomfortable.
girl.
The other girl.
one other
No,
girl. you
no,
dated.
good.
This
Okay.
was, yeah. Because
That doesn't count. That really doesn't count.
Yeah.
Your date,
This is.
your date
Yeah.
was sitting on a swing
Yeah.
and having
And
taffy
having
taken from
Taffy. Yep. That's, yeah.
Thanks for the bag.
Amazing. I know.
It
Pretty
walks
much.
off.
Yeah.
Thanks
walks
a lot.
off.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was bad.
This one's licorice. Keep this, asshole.
I don't even want it.
Oh my God. Third, he's the guy who likes to ride his bike fast but doesn't have his bike. Mr. Jackson Bulger.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You're right.
You still don't have a
Yeah.
bike.
I know. I haven't had a bike for coming up on a month now. Well, I haven't had my own bike.
You almost
It
don't
was that long
You
ago?
almost don't qualify to be on this show anymore.
Well, I ride still.
Oh, that's true. Why
Yeah.
are you riding?
Why am I riding?
Why? How are you able to ride?
Well, Sam's letting me use his own bike.
That's what I wanted you to say because he's such a good-hearted person, even though,
And Sam's
Yeah.
riding his dad's bike.
Yeah, it's
he
way
is
cooler.
what he did, yeah.
It's way cooler.
By the way, I want to work on an entire series of segments on trying to make steel competitive with carbon. And I know it's been done before, so don't at me. But you know what? I want to put it to the trenches.
I was
of
off the
real
front of that
people.
race.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this bike is
It's the
30
motor.
years old.
It's the motor.
I mean, there was nothing about that bike that was limiting me
Yeah.
in my ability at that race.
Your sciatic was.
My sciatic was a problem.
Yeah. Jackson, bad date. You don't have to name any names. You could even say you had a bad date with your soon-to-be wife.
No,
She
I
might
don't-
agree with you. She's like, "Oh, that was bad."
She's
Date.
like, yeah,
come
the
up with
first
one.
date.
Who
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
to a fish petting zoo?
I don't think we've had any bad dates. I
Oh,
dated somebody in high school who ended up not being the nicest to me. And so, like, I remember one time we were hanging out with some of her friends, and they all started making fun of me, including her.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's okay. I burned their house to the ground.
yeah.
So
So
it was just a roast.
yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
And so I remember leaving, and I think you would
Yeah.
probably pick me up. Actually, I remember you picking me up, and I remember what happened
it's gonna be
when you
okay.
picked me up.
What did I do?
You burned the house down.
Burn the house to the ground. Pissed on the
Well-
ashes.
They TP'd our house, and it's been used. Our
doors are locked from the outside. And I'm
What you
standing in the
got
yard
me,
going,
my boy.
"Take that, assholes!"
Oh.
But that was my worst date. I will say
That's
that was
a
not a
sad
good
date.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brutal. And fourth, everybody, he's here, Mr. Jack Broadhead.
Yay.
Wow, that's
He's back.
wow.
Jack's back. Oh, yeah.
That's celebration.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice.
Don't take it personally.
What?
It's just an act on the show.
Yep.
I'm really not
Yep.
mean to you.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No.
How are you, man?
You're sweet. Good.
What have you been doing with your life over the last time you've been on the show besides randomly texting us?
Work. Yeah.
Working your ass
Lots
off.
of work.
Yeah?
All
In
the
a good
time.
way?
Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of work out there.
How's your cycling life, Jack?
No, just like once a week.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got out on Father's Day, and my Strava showed 14 miles, and I went 18. So I just want you to know,
That's not. That
at
doesn't
18
matter.
miles per hour, I
Wow.
hit my house like at 1 hour, and I was 18.9 miles per hour. I was
That's-
pretty happy
wow.
with myself.
Wow.
If you had
for-
just turned 18, that would be a really
It
cool.
really would be cool.
Yeah.
But no, I was riding the old bike, and on the west side, I don't take my new bike over there because
Why? Yeah, why?
I'm afraid
is
to
that?
scratch it. I need a bike rack.
That makes sense.
I mean, I've taken it both sides of the state in a blanket. I'm still afraid. It's unscratched. It is in perfect shape.
You just gotta
should
let
let
it
Pat
like
bring
handle
it
it.
here.
You want to
Bring
store
it
it here
here.
for a couple days?
You get to a point where it's like I don't care. This is why like I gave
I
Jackson
will.
my bike and
I
I'm like,
will.
dude, just rip it.
But this is likely my last bike, and I just want it to.
Just paint.
Your last,
There's no such thing.
your last bike,
You're on your
There-
last
there's-
bike,
dude. You're not 80.
No way is he.
Nope.
You're not 80. What the hell? Last
Okay.
bike.
How's it going to get any different, better? Like, where do we go from here? It's,
Would
Yeah,
you
that
would
was
you
you,
ever
like,
guess
10
like
years
10
ago.
years ago with electronic shifting?
We got
3x8.
no derailleurs anymore. That kind of stuff. I don't know. But
Internal shifting.
Yeah.
Shift. You can
Yep.
think about a gear, just
Oh.
like declassifying
I think
documents.
my SRAM almost does that. If I go on my phone, I can make it do things that one lever will do multiple things.
That's
So it's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready
pretty
to have
cool.
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I don't know. My Bluetooth. I mean, my
You
speaker.
can you can make it so that like how long you hold the trigger down, it'll go.
Yep, it'll
click,
go
click, click,
down
click.
and down,
Oh, like,
and then
yeah.
you can I was telling Pat at our last ride, if you shifting your big ring, it will go up 3 in the rear.
Yep.
Automatically.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of those like
Yeah.
customizations.
Synchro shifting.
3 in the rear.
It's an F. Jeez. What are you drinking?
not
Pervy pills.
Not pills.
Jack, give me a bad date.
It was my fault. Yeah, I really liked this girl. I was splitting up with a girl.
You
and
liked her?
I really liked her, and but I spent the whole date talking about why I didn't like my ex anymore, and it was our only date. It was a great.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I fucked it. I screwed it up.
You can say that.
I know,
I'm the one who's
You're not on
restricted.
the-
I know.
the one who's on
Well, I
that
kind of
list.
feel like your mom's still
She'll
keeping tabs.
track you down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was my fault. I blew it. No more second date.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
that's all right. It worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're all better off.
I got 4
right?
kids from somebody else. It's all good.
2 practice marriages.
Hey, exactly.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Me, I'm the guy with a free entry to a race that I'm probably not going to race. I'm Pat
What?
Bulger. I don't think I'm going to do the road race.
Why?
I'm going to do the time trial and the crit because
Why?
I suck right now. I am so slow right
That's
now.
fine.
Last week, guys, I'll talk about it here in a minute.
All right.
My bad date.
Was it with Michelle?
No, it wasn't with Michelle. It was in
Did you ever
college.
have a bad date with her?
It was in. We've had bad dates. Sure, we have.
She's a saint.
She's angry tonight. We might have a bad night tonight. I might come upstairs like going, "How are you, honey?" She's like, 3 gummies in, I'm going to bed. Jesus, okay. No, it's sorry, Jackson. I was talking about your mother there. No, in college I got free tickets to a movie, and I asked this girl out who I didn't really know, and you know, I had friends go like, "Oh, you should go out with so and so. You should go out with so and so." And we went to a movie, and it was on campus. So don't think I'm a horrible person when I finish this story. It was on campus, and it's kind of like the Ice Capades. We went to Mannequin, the movie Mannequin,
God.
with the girl from Sex and the City, not the anyway, Kim Cattrall, and one of the Brat Pack kids. Yeah.
Oh, that was just
and
disaster.
I hated
Free
the
tickets
movie
aren't worth
so much. I hated the movie so much. I looked at her halfway through the movie and I said, "I'm leaving. This is terrible. Do you want to stay?" And she went, "Yeah." And I went, "Okay, bye." I never spoke to her again.
Wow.
I left because the movie was terrible.
Did you buy her dinner before the
At
movie?
least she didn't
I
like
don't
take
think
your.
so.
Did she take your popcorn too? Kind of like I lost
your
my
toilet
I don't
taxi.
even remember if there was food involved.
Oh.
Yeah, but I just looked at her. She said, I just went, "No, you. If you like this movie, it's never going to work out." And so I left.
Yeah.
Still hate that movie.
That was a good move, because if she liked that movie,
Yeah, she had
Oh
something
God,
wrong
it
with
was
her.
bad. At one
she
point,
didn't graduate from college.
At one point, the Mannequin is Kim Cattrall is on a hang glider circling through the mall, and Andrew Garfield. I think that's his name,
never
not
saw
Andrew
this
Garfield.
movie.
No, Andrew something. But he was like going, "Oh no, what are we gonna do? There's a mannequin on the," and I just went, "Fuck me. There's 2. I gotta leave," and I left. So that was my date. Talk to me, you guys, about your cycling life status. If you were to rank it, how currently is it going? Sam, I know you've been just like going, "Hey guys, I'm gonna kick everybody's ass and spend more time on the saddle than I do in my bedroom."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of burned out.
Are you?
Not gonna lie. Yeah. I
'Cause
think
I'm
it's
gonna get
mostly
to that,
because
yeah.
I'm really like I have a lot of chores I got to get done at the house, and I'm hitting that point where it's like, what am I doing here? And because we haven't had that many races, right? Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm just trying to keep my eyes set on like July. Get there, get to the race, do the race, all that.
Pay for it, don't show up.
Yeah, my typical, the usual.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, on that same note though, like I am just now feeling like I recovered from like I got on top of my allergies again, and I've recovered from the last weekend.
Yeah, that
I was thrashed.
big weekend.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things like let it all sink in, rebuild the stores, and then I'll go shred you guys anytime.
Hey, if you take some time off,
That's great.
That will level you. That you'll peak out.
I know.
That's what
July.
you're doing, right?
Hold on. I'm gonna.
The last time that you said that, though, was when we came here to watch Paris-Roubaix, because I had just done like a huge block, and then I took a whole week off, and you're like, "Oh, you're gonna be flying," and then sure enough, I came out of that and I ripped everyone
Yeah,
to
it
pieces.
is
Coach
stair
Jack.
step. It's
Oh, yeah.
a total stair step.
Yep.
I mean, it's in every sport.
Yeah.
If you just got to get the rest. The rest matters as much as
You
the,
guys are,
Yeah.
the game.
Totally.
Why are you guys doing this to me? You're jumping my next topic. I was
Oh,
going to talk
yeah.
about that
Okay,
in a
sorry.
second. But it's
That's
okay.
Jack's here.
That's
That's
because
why.
Jack's here.
Jack's jumping.
He's in your
Store-
head.
the whole show goes to shit.
Jackson, how's your cycling life on a borrowed bike?
It's good. Yeah. I mean, we raced last Thursday, and
Okay, before we continue, was that race fast? Please say this on the air so I don't go into the shower and curl up in a ball, fully clothed, and cry myself to sleep tonight. Was that race fast?
I thought it was a really
And I'll say
fast race.
yes.
You asshole! It was
I literally
so
at
fast.
one point, like I was like, I went to the front and I said, okay, guys, I'm bored. And that's when I attacked off the front because I'm like, we're all just sitting here. Like, yeah, you have to put it. Don't get me wrong. You had to sit at a high wattage for that, like, tailwind section. And then you could just sit in for the headwind section the whole time. It was so, because everybody would just sit there.
When did you leave the race? 5 minutes in? No, I'm just guessing.
Because the first, like, 10, 15
He's
minutes are
probably-
always
that's
the
when
hottest.
that's when it's
like,
you're
yeah.
on the
probably
ribbon.
a 10 lap race, probably 8 to
Yeah,
10 lap
something
race.
like that.
I made it 5 laps.
Oh, okay. So you made it through the hard part.
No. If I
Yeah.
would have made it through the hard part, I'd have still been there.
You just didn't recover.
I will say, I think
Holy shit.
you were in the hardest part.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
The beginning
because
of
then
that
after
race was just instantly everybody was trying to attack.
Yep.
But I'm gonna start this last week. I stayed up at the kind of the front end of the race,
Yeah.
kind of the whole time. I would say, and you know, I mean, as it goes, you receive less draft the further up you are. I'm taking up your strategy next time. I'm gonna just sit back there and
Tail gun.
watch. Yeah,
I'm
watch it all
telling you,
happen.
like, I
the
just
tail
literally-
gun was not an enjoyable place. To
I
be
just
when you
can't,
said
like, I was sitting back there and I'm like, like Brett, who, you know, did the, like, big pull at the end. He's like, yeah, I just kind of sat back there and realized, like, yeah, everybody goes so slow through this section. Just go then. And I'm like, yeah, that's how you win these races. Like, you can just sit there, tail gun it, and just send one ripper flyer of a lap. Like,
all right, you guys aren't giving me any answers.
Anyways, what I will say though is, as somebody who took 2 weeks off and
jump right
crashed,
back in.
yeah, and I got 5th. I was pretty proud of that.
Crushed it.
Yeah, I was really proud of that. So there was that, and then
Went off-roading.
yeah, I went in the gravel for a quick second.
You what?
Yeah, I went into the gravel for a quick second.
I can't buy Sam a new bike.
Well, the
And
thing
you're
I
getting
thought- he
married,
doesn't-
so you're officially on your
Well,
own.
He's good.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was very careful on it,
I told him, send it.
and I'm never gonna.
we have a spare Cervelo in there.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
do, yeah.
But yeah, after that race, Dad, you and I, we rode 80 miles. Everybody's on Strava saying I got 79.9, but I'll show you the Wahoo file right now.
He did.
I got 80 miles, and
Strava says it.
yeah,
You didn't ride long enough.
but we did that, and that's a great route. I love
it is.
Newman-Hauser.
It is.
You get to go around the lake. Getting out there, like we said the other day, is a little tough. You have to
Yeah.
Is
go
it
through
Newman that's up and down? And then Hauser's pretty flat?
Hauser's a little flatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was it was a great
good.
ride. Yeah, it didn't rain, thankfully. So
No, yeah, it got a little dark. You posted a cool little reel. Is that what
Yeah.
the kids call it?
Yeah.
Reel.
video
on the Facebooks.
On the
Did you put it
Facebook.
on?
No, the
Put it on
the
Instagram.
Instas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram's owned by the Facebooks.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, got you.
But that was a great ride. I
was.
enjoyed that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt good to get out and go. Although I apparently should have been doing intervals. Hey, Paul, how's your cycling life?
Well, I was inspired. I did do
I
intervals
can't go for the ride. I got to do intervals.
because somebody quoted like, "Oh man, I just need speed," and I'm thinking you invited me to
It
that.
was Lightning McQueen, I think.
Well, you said that because from the after the race.
Oh,
you said
yeah, I
you need
do.
to get speed.
I really need speed.
And I'm thinking, yeah, I just did 86 miles an average, almost 19 miles an hour by myself.
Yeah.
I don't need long distance.
Yeah.
What I do need
yeah.
is speed, so I've been doing interval works and stuff.
All right.
So, anyway, yeah, I did.
How are you feeling about yourself?
It's fucking horrible. There's 3. Horrible. I mean, you know what? At least my wife looked at me at the race. She said, somebody came up to me and said,
love you.
Yeah, no, no, why would she say that?
I
No,
never passed her lips.
She said, she said it on the wedding day, and that was
it's all over.
no. She said somebody came up to her and said, "Didn't he just have a heart thing like a few weeks ago?" And she went, "Yeah." Like, it's like I'm a
He's
sitcom
stupid.
husband.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a sitcom husband.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pudgy and stupid, and she's thin and gorgeous and smart.
Yeah.
Okay, there
Pretty
we
much.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Yeah,
go. Jack,
you nailed it.
Jack, last we talked to you, I think it was the purchase of the Argon bike.
On the show.
Since you've been on the
You've
show.
talked to me since
Yeah.
then. Okay.
And now we know that it does not travel. It doesn't travel well.
It's going back with me, I think, this week, just because it's time to ride that bike.
Do you have what are you driving? What's your rig?
F250. Diesel.
So get one of those little mountain biker pads and put it on the back, and then put your front wheel over that bitch.
I have a bike rack. It's just I'm afraid of it chafing the frame. I'm afraid of it
Chafing.
I've never felt this way about any bike. I treat
you think
bikes,
of maybe putting some Vaseline on it? So
I
it doesn't
treat
chafe?
bikes and cars like tools. It's a tool of the trade. But this bike costs a lot of money, and I'm not ready to scratch it yet. Yeah,
I get
Just
it.
do it.
I wasn't either.
When it gets
Jackson,
I'll be
you
fine.
have done more damage to that bike than I ever could have.
That is
That was
true
done.
now.
That was done by me.
Yeah,
I know, and that's
My
what
bike.
makes me so upset.
Anyways, Jack, as you were saying,
yeah. No, I'll get over it. I'm sure at the first scratch. It's just such a beautiful bike. It's you know.
If you get a
I'm
flat
disappointed
black
with the
one,
amount-
you don't have to worry about that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
just throw it in the
less-
back.
You know what? The flat black is just an indicator of your soul. It's like my soul is flat black, so my bike is
Pretty
flat
much.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a lot of flat back.
What color is your bike? Ian?
Flat black.
Oh shit! Awkward.
I don't know.
Nobody needs to know about my cycling life because it'll bleed through here. Do you? And this is kind of where I was going to ask Sam about this slump. We always, as cyclists who have no paycheck on the line, we always tend to run into this. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but usually it's like early summer where you're just like you spend so much time in the winter and the spring preparing for something, and then if there's nothing consistently on the calendar, that you just kind of. Next thing you know, and then I don't know about you guys, but I'm putting in a redneck Riviera in my backyard, and I'm working on all this stuff, and my wife really wants everything to look nice because apparently, if Jackson's getting married, apparently everybody in the wedding's coming to our house, which is bullshit. It's not true. Not everybody's coming. The only people who are coming to this house for the wedding weekend are the people who regularly come to this house. So my wife's got this idea that we have to make the house absolutely gorgeous for all these strangers who happen to be the same relatives who've always been at our house.
God, I remember this time.
Hopefully, we have the urinal done by then.
I don't want to talk about that yet, Jack. Who's your friend who's going to do it for us?
Andy.
Great
This
guy.
weekend.
He had the audacity to tell me that he would like to do something on Father's Day instead of work on my urinal.
I know. I can't believe it. And you know what? You know what?
That
You know
piece
what?
of shit.
Right.
That dude don't have kids, so there was no excuse.
Wow, you just outed him.
He's just got.
Who just
Where'd you
got
find
outed?
this guy?
babies. Plumber. He's a plumber.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah,
explains,
that explains
a lot.
everything. Yeah.
Do you guys occasionally, Sam, you seem to say as you earlier, talk to me about slumps. Talk to me about how you deal with the slump. Are you guys completely the type who are like, good, I'm going to put my bike away for a while, or do you train less, or do you have overwhelming clouds, dark, black clouds with lightning and thunder hanging over your head, telling you that you should be on your bike, you slow, fat piece of shit.
Feels
Asking
personal.
for a friend. Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I thought that's
Asking
where it
for a
came from.
friend.
Detailed.
Asking for a friend.
3 o'clock in the morning. There it is.
I gotta go ride more.
Oh my god.
I'll start with Jackson because you're fairly new to this and you don't realize what the hell you've gotten yourself into.
yeah, I'm real new to it. It's coming up on 4 years.
No,
now.
I mean the decades of guilt that have programmed your soul.
It's this year's a different one totally because it's just every weekend I have like some sort of wedding thing going on, or
Yeah.
like, there's always something to figure out now, and that's not a bad thing. Like from here to mid to late July, I don't have a weekend that's just open anymore. So really, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. But so I'm this year dealing with the idea of it's okay to not ride as much. I race in the races and I'm top 10, so I'm happy with that. But this year I think I'm going to be kind of happy to see the races finish just because like that adds like all that like competitive stress to me. So I think like that is probably getting my burnout high. And so I maybe not crashing is a blessing, but maybe having a bike not available all the time, like a road bike available all the time, could have hit me at the best time just because that's when burnout's starting to hit the height. And so maybe taking some time off, stretching my windows of riding a little bit further, and doing different surfaces is kind of fun to shake things up. So that's maybe how I deal with mine.
You know, they say that your only hope should be that your children are a little bit better than you. I could die. I could die right now.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Jack, I'm going to go to the other extreme. Please don't take it. Well,
Don't take this wrong.
I am going to bust
way.
your balls throughout the entire show, but this time I'm not.
That's okay. That's why I'm here. I love a good bus.
Dude, you
Ball
and
busting.
you and I, had our
Moments in the
Glory
sun.
days.
Differences.
Back in my day.
differences. No, one time you took that
pissed me
girl
off.
out, and
Yeah.
man, what I can't remember your date.
I don't know.
already. And I know that being a bike rider, a cyclist, is a part of who you are. Do you at times find yourself going, God, I hate this job. I want to ride my bike more, or are you just kind
absolutely.
of settled in? Really?
Yeah. Like my wife and I talk about this all the time. It's like when we did a project down in Vancouver when I first got my bike,
Yeah.
and we went to a town and lived where I had no customers. I had no, like anybody calling me up and say, hey, can you be here on Tuesday? Like I do it where I live. And so every morning I got up and I went for a ride, and then I worked till midnight, and then get up the next day and go for a ride. And so we keep reminding ourselves that was the lifestyle that we were aiming for. Now, we're self-employed. Like, why do I have to get up and be anywhere at any particular time unless I tell somebody I'll be there at 8?
Yeah.
I better get up at 6 to go for a ride. But if I don't tell somebody, if I tell them I'll be there at 10, I've got a couple hours that I should be out riding. But my guilt, it's almost like some sort of Catholic guilt, and I'm not even Catholic.
But you went to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
I did. It's really
It's
what
a
screwed me up.
virus.
Yeah,
It's a virus. They put it in the water.
But I wake up, if I wake up a little late or I'm watching TV, and it's like, okay, I got to go to work. It's not. I got to get on my bike.
Yeah.
And work can wait.
Yeah.
That's my big guilt. That I have a programming issue.
Yeah. No, okay. Paul, you never get down off cycling. You're always just like go.
It's always
go.
next year.
That's the carrot. It's dangling out in front of me next
We're
year.
putting that on your headstone.
No.
Except you're doing nationals.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
So
I
this
am
is the
definitely.
year. This is the year.
So for me, it's always been racing, and I was trying to. While everybody's talking, I thought the first 3 years I raced every single weekend, and there was a period where I had at least one weekday. I mean, I raced more than I trained,
Yeah.
and I never hit a burnout spot. I was exhausted. I was like physically exhausted, where I had to take a break, but I never got tired of it. And so, I think for me, just keeping the fire burning is after during COVID and after COVID.
Yeah.
The sparseness of races and stuff. It's kind of hard to keep the fire burning a little bit, but with RC3 in the that's only a month away.
Yeah.
And then Masters Nationals 2 months away. So yeah, I have no problems, and that's inspiring for me. And I don't burn out.
I gotta say though, back in the day, once you hit April, you raced way more than
Yeah.
you trained.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd have 2 weekday races, maybe even 3 if you count a Friday
3.
night track or whatever, and then a full weekend of racing. There was the training was an easy ride, in between the racing.
That's
the
how you
racing
recovered.
was either training racing and real racing and recovery rides.
Yeah.
It's so totally different than now.
That's something that I wish was kind of available. As I wish there was like something more often on the weekend. Like, it's obviously hard to make that happen a bunch.
We'd have full
Man.
weekends.
I was the tail end of that.
Yeah. Or stage race weekends where you'd have
Yeah, Friday.
2 stages on a
Yeah.
Saturday and 1 stage on a Sunday.
or Friday or Monday.
Yeah.
We did that.
See, I've never experienced that. Like, we have our weekly weeknight races and stuff like that, but that's all I've ever known. And so it's something that I wish I could have experienced.
It's
Yeah,
because clubs aren't forced to put on races anymore.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm an old
Well,
man.
I think that too, because but I think another part of it is we live in a different time in the United States. I mean,
We do.
it took nothing for me to go drive 7 hours for a crit and 2 crits like on a weekend down in Portland, and now at my age, it's like, are you kidding me? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I have a home to take care of, blah, blah, blah.
Is that the time, or is that the age?
It's
Is
the
that
age,
I'm just
but
like, I don't want to
I
drive
think-
that
Well,
far.
and I don't think there's an interest in to be honest with you, like, you were, like you said, the tail end in Jackson. I mean, I'm surprised. Like we talked about before, Volunteer Park, where there was Cat Force. There was 2 75 rider fields.
Yeah.
Juniors, you had to qualify or put in. It was just crazy. Road cycling is not what it used to be.
We raced 100+ races a year. And that started in April 1st.
And you could stay just in
that
Washington and Oregon, and that's 100 races easy.
Yeah.
Easy. And sometimes you had a choice between Montana, like in Missoula stage race, or down at Moscow. I mean, there was like so many races going at the same time.
We had like up in Canada.
And there was enough racing here that it was like a special trip to Seattle. Like, oh, let's go do Volunteer Park, La Conner weekend, or let's go to Redmond Derby, whatever else was going on Friday Night Track, Redmond Derby. Race 3 races that weekend, and then come back and get back to Tuesday night and whatever was going on the weekend.
Well, and then you ask too, is it age or is it something else? I think it's, for me at least, I don't think it's age. I think it's price is a really big thing to think about as well. Yeah, fuel. Well, I was going to say, funny you mentioned the word fuel, because gas, I filled up my tank the other day, that was $70. So let's say on both sides of the state it costs $70. It's $140 just to drive.
I filled up twice today, and both times were over $100.
See, and like,
But I was towing a trailer.
That's
too,
instantly
but,
like somebody who works part-time to be a Cat 2, no chance they're making that trip anymore.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, I think that I only had the availability of doing what I did at the time because I got almost free entry into every race, and then it wasn't that. I lived on the west side; they were all really close.
Yeah. Or you were willing to couch surf. Sleep
I
on somebody's couch.
Man, I won't forget. Yeah, contacting my college professor that was from Chico to get a contact to sleep on their couch, and we just show up at like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Sam. Can I sleep on your couch?"
Yeah.
So it's like, that's
we did that kind of shit in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Just same thing.
They set up host families. The race would set up host families. Yeah.
And
I
Washington
remember,
Trust Classic used to just have you signed up to host like all these cyclists from around the country.
I will say this too, like, because I think I'm more in your guys' boat now than Jackson's, and I would ask, like,
kids
if
these
there
days, am
was-
I right?
You're right. But like, if there was a race within a 2-hour distance of us, like every weekend, how many of those would you guys hit?
All of them.
There's no effing way.
Within 2
In
hours.
2 hours?
There's
Yeah,
no
easy,
way.
all the time.
There's no
All
way.
the time.
I call bullshit on all of you because like
I kid you not.
I fucking drive.
you don't make the ones right now.
drive.
You've been
Well, I
to
don't-
2
I don't.
Thursdays.
That's
I drive.
because they're talking about ages, and where I'm at in my life.
No,
It's
that's what
completely
I'm.
different.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, with where everyone is in their life,
Oh, I
would
thought you meant
drive-
with
no,
your
back
age.
then,
Yeah.
obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying
Now
where
I
am
would.
now.
If I could get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, leave my house,
Yeah.
and be at the race with time to register, get dressed, and race the race, I would do it. 2 hours, absolutely.
Yeah,
But not, not
because
4.
like, what would you do that every single
5, yeah.
weekend?
No, I'd do it every other weekend, probably.
Wow.
Yeah,
See,
see,
I don't
I
even
would
think
too.
I don't even think I'd have that diligence.
Really?
Yeah,
I
And
would.
and I blame myself for like the like reason that it's hard to host races. It's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really want to go to that many events anymore. You know?
And a lot of race promoters are running into that, where they're
Yeah.
finding out that they're looking at their race entries and they're shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, you keep talking and complaining about races, but nobody's coming to our race.
Right.
Yeah. And then this time of year, juniors on a soccer team that is traveling all over the place,
Yeah.
or my dog barks in my condo, or
Yeah.
something like that. You're running into these things and people aren't leaving anymore.
I remember people talking about that back when I was racing. They're like, well, I got to take the kids to soccer and stuff. Like, I don't even understand how this could be an issue.
Yeah.
There's a bike race,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a bike race.
Yeah.
You go to it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, then I'm older and I'm like, I got yard work.
Yeah. Yard work.
Oh my God.
If I don't mow the lawn tomorrow, it's going to be the same. But my wife looks at me and says, you need to mow the lawn today.
Why doesn't she say that
Yeah.
about shoveling the driveway?
Because nobody parks in our driveway. Did you notice that the pond's gone? The pond outside the studio is gone. I
rooted it?
snaked that drain.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a big boy. Hey, let's get to the headlines. Oh, where's my news intro? There's my news intro. Check to the headlines. Brought to us by our friends at Scratch Labs. That is right, Scratch Labs. If you have not had the strawberries and cream, I'm trying to think of a rhyme. You are missing
It's
out.
a real dream.
It's a real dream. Damn it.
Right there. It was on a plate.
It's delicious. Check them out at scratchlabs.com or use the link at Packfiller. I'm going to be ever so quickly, and not quickly, but ever so briefly depressing for everybody who knows. Gino Mater passed away following a crash at the descent of the Albul Pass something. Sorry. In stage 5 of the Tour de Suisse, announced by the Bahrain Victorious team last Friday. He was airlifted to a hospital after the crash. Serious injuries close to the finish to the town of La Punt on Thursday afternoon. His team released a statement saying it's with deep sadness and heavy hearts that we have to announce the passing of Gino. Read a statement. Bears, I guess, involved in the past was also Magnus Sheffield in the crash. Magnus was sent to the hospital. He's going to recover from his injuries. A concussion injury, but Gino Mater unfortunately passed away. So I don't want to delve too far into this because I know that everybody within the cycling community knows about it, knows what has happened, and has been doing their levels of grievances. But first of all, a toast to Gino. I mean, we don't know of him, but I love to watch him bike race. So 26 years old, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that. Oh my God! Jonathan Vaughters posted a statement on Twitter saying we should have those big ski racing nets around major corners in races and things like that. And I'd like to know your guys' opinions on this, because when it comes to this, is this and I do not want to belittle this tragedy because it is an absolute tragedy. Is this something that can be remedied, or is this something that is inherently dangerous within the sport we do? And if we were to try and create nets on every corner, that's just not something that's feasible, if I'm not mistaken. Is it a product of the current racing generation where we've got this youthful abandonment where they're going for everything, every minute, every race, every sprint, everything like that? And please understand, I'm not trying to make this into belittle the tragedy that it is, but everybody says, is there a time to talk about it? And of course there's a time to talk about it. But I'd love to hear any thoughts you guys have. I'm just opening it up in terms of what you guys think about in terms of the safety of the sport.
Well,
big pause.
So,
yeah.
Is my understanding that Sheffield and Magnus and Gino Mater did not crash together? That Sheffield crashed prior?
I unfortunately didn't see it, so I don't know the details of the crash. So
I've listened
I
to
heard
a couple different podcasts about that.
Oh, really? The original I heard was somehow, they both crashed, so I think the assumption was that somehow they got tangled.
Right, and that's my first thought, because I was listening to a podcast that was like Stage 5, and they're like, hey, by the way, these two guys crashed. We're hoping they're okay. It was prior to any release, but I listened to a different one, and it was two separate crashes, same area of that descent on that pass. With the amount of reconnaissance that goes on from teams and riders especially at this type of race where it's high profile race, everybody knows the risks and the hard corners and the miles per hour, kilometers per hour that are going on down these hills. And I just don't, everybody's going to make a mistake, but he wasn't. I don't know. There's no real good way to say it. He made a mistake and he went off the road, and so did Magnus, and he ended up at the bottom in a ravine in water, and it was a horrible. And they're unguarded, but you're in the Alps. There are all the tour stages. None of them have. You can't protect them all.
Are we at the point where we have to put up protective barriers, or
and you're using the whole road?
That's not going to happen, is it? Yeah.
I think that's a bit of a stretch, and I mean, you want safety, but I think ultimately, when you enter a race, if you're not comfortable at the speed and taking chances, it's easy to say that as a 60-year-old, but in the 20, I took all the chances.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of the sport. And when this came out, I was trying to think the last death on the road caused by an accident, and Wieland was his name.
Walter Wieland.
Yeah, and that was in the Giro, and then there was Fabio and Casatello.
That's quite a while ago.
That was 96. Right? So in between there, we had 3.
I think it was.
It was 07. Yeah. So it like Formula One. I mean, although people haven't died, there is, if you're racing a bike, there is that potential. You should know that there's a potential you could seriously injure yourself, or But I think the generation now, I mean, the way pros talk about respect, the newer generation has a tendency to push that envelope. And there was times where
that's what I felt on Thursday. That's what I felt on Thursday. Nobody was showing
listening
you
to
proper
slow you
respect.
down.
Sorry, I have to make it funny in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
None of you assholes were respecting me. And I was at the back of the field, and there was no draft. It wasn't good.
Well, we've designed these bikes, with disc brakes and everything that
you
can. Well, even aerodynamics, positions have changed drastically.
Yeah.
I mean, even braking material, our brake pads from cork to even later in our career, way better. Modolo Speedies, how did we even make it down the hill?
That's what I was just thinking of.
How could we even stop?
You grab the brakes. If you're Modolo Speedy, they were cork brake pads, and there's a set right behind you on the wall there. Those are Modolo Speedies, and if you grabbed both hands of them in wet weather, your best chance would be to yell your your will as you went by. I like my wife. Did they remember me? You went by flying into. Oh God, it was terrible. They were the worst.
So but we have all this technology that's causing. I mean, giving us the ability to go faster. But do we have to use that? The thing is an El Patron, we used to say, back in the day. I mean, Fabian Cancellara was a guy when Andy Schleck. I just saw a thing on GCN. They have a good piece between Andy Schleck and Alberto Contador.
Yeah,
and he told everybody after Schleck crashed on one stage, we're stopped. Everybody wait. But then when Contador went down, there was no waiting.
Yeah.
But
Lance was a patron.
Yeah,
big time. Yeah, So
Bernardino. I mean, there was always been
a couple. Changed.
But I don't think that happens anymore. So I think there's got to be the culture in cycling. Hopefully this tragedy maybe makes them say, okay, listen, we got to make a pact down here. It's extremely raining. It's pouring down rain. The conditions are not good, and they weren't all that bad. But there's no guardrails. Let's
There are people though in the peloton today that could be that role. I just don't think that they take that role. Like Geraint Thomas is the first person that jumps out at me, right? Like he's been in it for so long. There's no reason he can't just control a race.
Are they listening though?
I think they would if he stepped up and was like, no, like everybody take it easy.
Well, and that was a complaint with
there was
Philippe
fear.
Gilbert.
There was a fear element back then. Yeah.
Well, Philippe Gilbert was an El Patron, and then he said the new generation's not listening.
Yeah.
And Michael Matthews is another one. Is just like these guys aren't listening.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you doing? They're shooting gaps. They're doing things that, listen, you're putting other people's lives in danger. So I think that culture has to change. I think that's better than putting up a snow fence.
And I need to go back to the Lance Armstrong bullying days.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also
It worked. I will
worked.
say that.
I don't think you can blame it on technology because these guys have thousands of kilometers on disc brakes. They have thousands of kilometers on a very rigid, through axle bike. They know what their bike is doing under them.
But they're pushing it to the max. We
that's
couldn't
an individual
push it.
choice.
It is, and that was my point. Is
Yeah.
that they have to come to an agreement. Like, listen, dudes, on a solo ride, you could do, you look at the short little guy, Tom
Pitcock.
Pitcock.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my God, watching him descent is scary.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but beautiful.
There's no way. Back 70 years ago, you put Pitcock on one of those on an older bike. There's no way he's going to do it.
Yeah.
But now the speed increases, and now the danger and
Yeah.
and damage gets higher as
Yeah.
the speed increases. That's my point. But
Yeah.
and since that's there, it's like a loaded weapon. You got to like put the safety on some of these situations.
Maybe they need to mark corners. So pro rally, for example, if you a rally, you go into certain sections with corners, there'll be a sign with 3 exclamation points. That is a very hairpin, coming back corner. That
Yeah,
I mean,
one of those.
But coming down a hill, if there was something up ahead that I don't know, maybe they do this, but a little bit of a warning, like this is a tightening corner. Snow fencing ain't gonna work.
No.
It's and with the communication of the directors and everybody in the peloton, there you would think there was something, and again, it's so hard to talk about this right now within the situation.
Yeah.
I think that it's one of those accidents. An accident, I think, is a very is a good word to use here. I think it was an accident that wasn't of a course director or any of that type of stuff. I think it was just one of those things that it shouldn't have been the way it was, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It wasn't anybody's thing. It happened, and just hope his family and friends are
absolutely
okay and grieving that well. So
all right, there we go. Thank you, Jackson. That's a perfect way to finish it. Next, who has finished Tour de France Unchained? I got 2, 3 hands in the room.
I'm on 6 of 8.
Okay, so you're close enough. So, by the way,
I thought we said just once a week.
not to spoil it.
Doing my homework.
Not to spoil it. Tadej Pogacar does not win that tour.
no.
God dang it!
you didn't know that,
I wasn't
did you?
done yet.
Sorry. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. There we go. For the people who have finished it, talk to me about overall impressions and just what you thought of how effective it is towards the sport.
I thought it was really good. First of all, as I always tell my fiance, I love a good docuseries, and I thought this was one of the good
You
ones.
always tell her that?
Well, every time there's one that's on,
Honey, I love a good docuseries.
Because
Good night.
I watch so many of them. But I do. I watch so many.
That
there
was
are a bunch,
great.
Yeah.
I like a good doc series.
Good morning, honey.
Love a good docuseries.
Cup of coffee? I love a good docuseries.
I gotta go poo. I love a good doc series.
Why does he always say that?
Poor Jackson.
Do you, Jackson, take to honor
I love a good
love
docuseries.
I love a good
But I tell you what,
It wasn't what you asked
I
you to
do,
say.
but I do like a good doc series.
Jesus Christ! I didn't know I had to be so specific with you people. As I say, whilst talking about television, I always say that I love a good docuseries. Is that better for you? Is
Again,
that
you
better
said
for you?
I always say it, so it would
What?
mean you say it a lot.
So as a teacher, and you say
Here we go.
when you hate when students don't listen, I feel like you just
Listen
didn't
up,
listen.
children. It's on
So you're
me.
insulting my career now?
Hours.
Okay, good point.
I do. I love documentary series. I watch.
You do?
Yeah, I always say that.
Well, say it more often,
Yeah.
damn it.
But there are some that Amazon do about different soccer clubs, and those are the ones that I hold on. Like I would say a higher echelon. They got a lot of money on them, and I would say this matched up. And I think they did a really good job. They gave you a storyline, insight to some things. They did unnecessarily create some conflict, I think, sometimes, but they have to, or else it's not entertaining.
You know what? I got an American gripe here.
Oh,
man.
I got an American gripe about this
They
thing.
didn't show enough of us.
No. That's not it.
Oh, that's because we suck.
Where was Legion?
It is that, like, France is already
Jack.
into this, right? Like, Like there is no child in France that does not know about bike racing. Why the F is everything in French?
Because it was made by French filmmakers.
They had to get because they had to get approval from the ASO.
I get that.
And ASO says this: in order for you to have this series, you have to do it our way. This is how ASO
so
runs.
effing dumb. I hate it.
You know how they did it
much.
too? They
It's
all
the
had
Formula
berets
1 one.
on, and they were smoking cigarettes, and they're like,
Evic!
You must do it our way, or we will not let you do
You
it.
want it the NASCAR style.
No,
Total
I
fucking-
wanted the Formula 1 style. Like Formula 1 still
Couple
has
English
some
guys.
other, but it's like everyone is even in their accent. Like there's no reason that couldn't.
Well, Formula One, you have to speak English in the pits when you if Ferrari has to use English at all times in a race. And so that is because that was Formula One.
Just like it in their language.
The international language.
It should be that everywhere.
That's the way it should be. No, I mean, I feel like I sound like a prick even saying it, but I'm just saying that like I feel like more people would get on board with this if it was in English.
So you don't like to read? Is that what you're saying?
I'm fine with
I'm
reading.
American. I don't want to read.
wait.
Was yours
Yours
dubbed?
wasn't dubbed? Mine
No.
was dubbed.
Mine
I had
was
it
dubbed too.
It
Sam
was
had
fine.
to. Sam
Mine was
actually
not
had to
dubbed.
go to.
What is dubbed?
Like English
Voiceovers.
Fudge off.
Yeah, mine was.
So Jackson, for example, I'm going to make up a language, and Jackson's going to speak English over the top.
Sam doesn't understand that other people speak other languages. It was just like that.
That is a setting?
So he. What the? So
I'm really
That's
interested.
not how it was for you, was it?
You
Was
had
it-
to read.
It was
Jack,
just
was that how it
French,
was
and
for
then you
you?
had to read
What?
everything.
Was that how it was for you, Jack?
I've not watched
Oh.
it. I'm out.
Oh,
Do I have
Why
to
are
leave
you
now?
here?
Do I have to leave
Why
now?
are you here?
I know, because I've been
What do
busy.
you have to contribute?
I'm going
That's
to watch
fair.
the whole damn thing.
What have you done?
That's fair though.
Watch
Anyway.
it. It's
Let
good.
me ask you: do you watch foreign films?
No.
So my
Now he does.
What kind of foreign film?
Well, when Tom Cruise flies to another country,
Well, the foreign
that's
films
foreign.
I watch, the language doesn't matter. There's a lot of noise, but grunting.
Maverick flew to another country to fly over that mountain, down that fucking gully, and then back around, drop the
that's
bombs,
like
go
number
up the other
3.
side. That was a foreign movie.
Yeah. So I
Nervy
think for
Phil's
me,
here.
I think what happens for me, all my settings is because we watch foreign films that we don't dub. I hate dubbing. So I have captions only on foreign
What
films.
the FDFFF?
So
See,
you can actually there's different formats.
He's had to do
There's
so
the way
much
you can do dubbing.
reading over
Sam,
the last.
you know what I did? That's the sciatic.
There's
He was
more
tense from leaning forward
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
read
I
the
get
screen. No, I was honestly, I hit play,
Me too.
and it was dubbed.
Well, you can watch it again with
The right
just
way.
subtitles.
Yeah, you want to do that?
That's
No.
original.
How fun would that be?
Yeah. I will say this:
clearly not
Jackson
fun.
Jackson brought up
I'm
the
gonna rewatch
controversy.
the whole thing.
Jackson brought up the controversy, and I do want to say that if you watch the entire thing, in storytelling, there's a thing called a character arc. All right, where a character starts at some place, they learn something along the way, they go through the hero's journey, whatever it may be, and they come out a different person at the end. Everything about this entire Wout complaint about him being a selfish prick, going for stages. If you watch the entire series, the documentarians or whatever it is, the filmmakers chose to do this as a character arc. You see a change in Wout at the end of the series. If you watch the entire thing, I don't know if Wout watched the entire thing, because he was talking quite a bit at length about the fact that that's not how I am. Dude, watch the whole thing, man. It brings you out to be a freaking hero at the end of it.
Yeah.
It was, everybody loved you. My wife loved the entire series. She now officially hates every team director, though. Especially the dude from Alpecin.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Alpecin.
She hates the dude from Alpecin because it's like the shit they gave
Matthew?
No.
Jasper Philipsen.
Jasper Philipsen. The shit they gave him, and
Yeah.
you see it in his eyes where he's clouding up about the guilt he's receiving about not winning a stage. It's like, oh my God, the pressure those guys are put under. Now, I was trying to talk to my wife about the fact that, yes, they are put under immense pressure. because the directors are under immense pressure because they have to get these guys to perform, and there's this just
Or no money.
yeah, yeah. There's millions of dollars at stake. It's not like, okay, Pookie, if you don't feel good, you can go home. That's not how this game works. This is.
What about Thibaut Pinot?
Thibaut, that's
then?
what I was just gonna say. Pinot, like your wife, she
My wife
likes
did
Pinot.
like
Pinot.
Pinot. Yeah, she did like.
Yep.
And I said, honey, glass of Thibaut. She, huh? Come on, this is a dad joke.
Was that in the series where who tore his glute? Yeah, from Ajay Dujour. He tore his glute, and then they were like, "You got to keep racing."
Ben O'Connor.
Oh yeah, Ben O'Connor.
Ben O'Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the race director's the
tell
team
him, like-
director's job is to walk into there going, "Holy shit, I need you in colors for at least one more day."
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I loved, that behind the scenes element of it, because it's not a happy joyride. These guys aren't just kicking back and racing bikes and having a good time like we are. They're in hell.
Yep.
And it is a extremely stressful job for everybody involved. And, you know, and I
They did
think
a very good job of showing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I still love the on-bike footage, though. that we
I
don't
think
get to
that
see.
helped a lot.
Yeah.
I think that gives people, instead of the helicopter or on the side of the road view, but
Yeah.
the chaos that's in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think I try to use, like, pull away, look, as a person who wasn't into cycling, how does this appeal to people who are, you know, there's some information there that probably went over their heads, but I think to create interest, I think is pretty good. And I
Yeah.
think your wife would be an example of that
Yeah.
too. I think Drive to Survive, the Formula One version, is
Better.
well. I think the way because of the way the car racing is, it is a prima donna. It is truly a prima donna.
Really?
Yeah, those people are filthy rich.
Well, they start out in go-karts at 7
years old,
and
and they're all the way up. They're groomed from the time they're 7 years old. There's
Hey, Jack, I started off on a bike called Wildfire.
I heard.
I
was
in my
listening
back
to
alley.
an old
And
a
I-
Huffy.
I-
We looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I worked my way up
You were there for that.
to a...
I was listening to the podcast today.
No,
That-
you shut the hell up, man.
Okay.
Because I worked up to a Roger DeCoster BMX
Yep,
bike,
yep.
and then I
rich.
worked my way up. My first bike was my road bike was a Trek.
Yeah.
No, there was a Panasonic before that. Then a
Oh,
Trek.
okay.
And then we got rid of the Trek really quick.
Okay.
Because
Because trucks suck.
no, I like Treks, but not that one.
Their
And then
warranty
I rode a
program is
Peugeot. So what I'm
apparently-
saying is, you're saying you
You were
started off an
groomed
inch. I could
and you
I was
failed.
groomed. I failed. Yeah.
You were groomed?
Cool.
I'm sorry.
Paul, you were
Wow,
saying
we are
something
giving him
intelligent, weren't you?
psychological issues.
no,
tonight.
it's
This is my therapy, you dumbass. You didn't know that?
And Paul and I
I
have
know,
I'm
but
just
we're all
here.
telling you how you just have
Air
failed.
the grievances. That's all I'm here for.
Okay, cool.
Paul and I had the same first bike, the convertible.
yeah. You had one.
3 years old. Yeah, I couldn't have the center
Crossbar.
bar. Yeah, because I was too short.
Yeah.
Same story. You and me.
Tonight's topic comes from Sam, and it is a good one, not only for new riders, which it is aimed at, but also gives us some retrospect into what we did right or wrong and what we might have lost in modern society. So Sam brought this up. It was a cool call, getting into cycling. So let's say we are new to the sport. We want to race. We want to ride with others. We want a bike that would work. So let's take it through the steps. If you could stop and imagine yourself wanting to get into the sport at this phase in our lives, or even if you were younger, but in today's society. Hi, Jackson. So I'm going to start off with just some fluff questions. Bike shopping, online or in shop. What would you do, or how do you take away the knowledge we already have and put it into context? But online or in a bike shop? Sam, I know you're going to have a very opinionated take on that.
Yeah, so I'll take it off first.
Yeah.
This all stemmed from my friend that came over and visited from Seattle because he's a runner, and he recently, came down with multiple injuries and was like,
Ex-friend.
I can't run anymore, right?
yeah.
So he's like, I'm getting
Oh,
into
good.
biking. Yeah, and I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
And he's asking me all these questions about like, what kind of bike do I get? And I'm like, well, start at your local bike shop. Obviously, I'm going to plug that because
Yeah.
I love bike shops. I worked for them for years. I think that they should be very welcoming to that. But over there, he was just like, he would ask like, do I need a gravel bike? You know, like just basic questions, right? Because he has no clue. Think of somebody who has no understanding. He probably hasn't ridden a bike since he was in like elementary school. And they're just kind of looking at him like, you know, he just felt like totally unwelcome. And he went to multiple different bike shops. And so then he went to a used bike shop. He's like, maybe a used bike shop will have more, you know, like knowledge and understanding for me being a new rider. And kind of same story, a little bit better.
Really?
But yeah, so he ended up finding something on Facebook Marketplace. Like, I'm still gonna...
nothing behind that.
What?
Yeah.
Unless the guy has a good story, there's nothing behind that, though. You go buy a bike and you're like, oh, thanks, here's your $100 or
Yeah. You meet somebody in a random parking lot, they club you over the head. Next thing you know, your internal organs are gone.
Yeah, right. But it's just one of those things that, like, I think that personally I would always plug, go to a bike shop. Like, they should be, you know, teaching you all this stuff about it. But it is, like, you kind of have to think about, like, what questions do you have, too? Like, what kind of riding do you want? I mean, I'm thinking about, like, for me, skiing is so daunting, right? Like, you got powder, you have heavy snow, you have light snow, you have all this stuff. Like, what ski do you get?
Where are you going to ski?
Yeah, where are you going to ski?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the same question for, like, bikes. But yeah, I'm going to guess, like, if I'm going to be totally, I don't have any of the knowledge I have now, I'm going to go to a bike shop and I'm going to ask, you know, like, I want to do this for fitness. And I just leave it broad like that. And then let them kind of steer me in the right direction.
Do you, I mean, we've
long-winded
gone to,
question.
we've gone to a lot of different bike shops. And I'm sure there's people who are listening who have gone into bike shops who have been steered in a completely messed up direction. How do you trust? I mean, do you how do you establish a relationship with a bike shop and get that going and be able to be comfortable enough to know that you're spending
$1,000,
at least $1,000,
which is a lot of money.
A lot of money on something that is going to work for you. I mean,
I think that a great place to start, I agree, is a bike shop. But then if they don't give you the answers that you are looking for, or if they steer you in the right direction but not specifically the right one you're looking at, I think honestly I will always support the local bike shop, and I want that to be definitely known. But I think that online right now is a really good place to start because you can get a really good bang for your buck on some of these different places.
yeah.
Because
if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I mention always go to your local bike shop first to find answers.
Yeah.
Which I would like, you just kind of made me think like online, right? Is like GCN. You know, like I'm going to plug GCN for like, you know, they have great information out there for like, I'm looking to get a bike. Just what questions you want to consider, because you're right.
Yeah.
And, you know, like that's kind of the same, you know, stuff that you'll learn at a bike shop too.
Yeah. And sometimes I think at a bike shop there is, and I'm not targeting anyone in this town at all.
Totally.
No.
I'm not, I just want to get that out there. But it's like sometimes salespeople are salespeople, and so they want their store to make money, and so they're going to sell a specific product for that, you know, revenue. And sometimes I think that certain bikes will be pushed onto certain individuals that don't necessarily want that one, and so going online, like to a Canyon, I think Canyon is a really cool brand because they give a good price for a high-end bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although their sizing seems messed up.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Coming from a fitter, it is so weird. I almost got the wrong size
And that would
bike
be
for my wife.
huge. That would be huge if you knew nothing and you thought, oh, well, I ride this, and you get a completely wrong size.
I
That's
mean,
a
why
huge
am I
investment.
not an extra large? I'm a
Why
large.
am I'm supposed to be a medium. Why am I supposed to be a medium? Seriously, genuine question.
I think it's because doesn't LeBron have, this is total sidetrack, but doesn't LeBron have stake in that?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
And so
why would LeBron want me to ride a small bike?
Because they're sizing them for like up to NBA athletes. Those are XXL. So the pool just got way bigger, right? And so it's not like us being the tall people here. It's LeBron
7-footers.
James is the
yeah.
tall person, or Chet Holmgren, right? Like, yeah. Anyway,
So I
what
had
does
a
a medium measure out to?
a
Top
medium
two?
would measure out to something like a 56
Well, that's standard. Medium is
or 58. No, 58 because you're
because
58.
it has
Yeah,
me on a medium.
Yes,
in my
small
head.
would be
But
50.
I would ignore the sizes small, medium,
But you
large.
can
and-
look.
and
You can
use
go
the
to the
measurements.
You can
That's
go to
what
the
you do.
specs.
Can you
on
guys
there.
imagine what a first time
No, no, no.
cyclist
Yeah,
is?
it's overwhelming.
Think of
This
how
is what- yeah,
confused
like,
we
this is
are.
This is why I brought up the topic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, because this friend brought up so many good questions about it. And he was like, just, you know, like, oh, like, is this a dumb question? I'm like, there are no dumb questions, but like you should be able to ask that.
You
stuff.
shouldn't be treated like it's a dumb question. I had a
Yeah.
contractor working where we were doing the project down in Vancouver who realized, I think my bike was there, and he's like, hey, I want to get into cycling. Where do I go? I said, well, first thing, go to, there it's like Bike Hub.
To hell, it's a financial hell. Don't do it. Run for your life.
But I'm like, I gave him about an hour of my time talking about what do you want to do with a bike. I probably did half the bike shop's job.
Yeah.
But do you want a crossover bike? Well, maybe go gravel because you could ride a trail, you could ride road all day long.
Yeah.
It's a great median between the two.
Paul,
I said,
just stay quiet for a second.
I said you go to the Bike Hub because they're all over Portland. You can size it. They will size you. They'll tell you what you want. They'll give you a bunch of education. I think for the amount of time they could give you, you should patronize them. Mm-hmm. That's really important. You don't just use them and go buy a canyon.
I agree.
Yeah.
But don't stop at the first place you go. Like I told him, go to REI, go to Bike Hub, go to some other shop, and get as much information as you can, and then you're a somewhat knowledgeable person. You go into the place, back to the Bike Hub, and you say, hey, I want to ride a gravel bike because of this. Mm-hmm. You can't do it in the first trip. You can't do it that first day.
Yeah.
And like wherever is willing to listen to you and talk to you, because like that was such a big part when I was working at a bike shop. I would always ask people like, what do you know about bikes? And like they'd be like, nothing. I'm like, great. Mm-hmm. This is a bicycle. And it's like, if they're willing to teach you and talk you through that, then that is the place, like back to your question, you pay them everything. Like, because if they're going to spend the time to walk you through and give you that extra mile, like that's so worth it. Yeah. But if they're just going to kind of look at you like, you don't know that. Yeah. Walk out the door.
I've talked to women who get run into this shrink it and pink it kind of a thing. It's just like, I got to take you over here because it's a smaller version. It's women specific design and it's pink. You like that, don't you? Yeah. And it's just like going, oh my God, you're condescending prick.
Yeah.
Well,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So take it to the next phase, people to ride with. How do you find a group to ride with? I'm usually leaning towards clubs or teams, but do you start with shop rides? Do you just go out and venture into your own? What would you do today? I remember my parents signed me up for, strangely enough, the Packfiller Cycling Club. That's how far of a venture I've taken into my life. And they dropped me off with Doug Stewart, the coach at the time, and we drove out to the state
Saltese
line.
Flats.
State line, which is kind of a little freaky if you think about it. My parents dropped me off with a random stranger, and he drove me to a state line.
Yeah, and that's where
if I were to put that into print, people would say, "Where is he? Let's arrest him."
It was different then.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you.
And and that was my first experience with an organized group ride.
Yeah.
How do you find something nowadays?
I think like I just know locally there's a lot of good gravel bike rides. Like Mojo puts on one every Thursday.
Yeah, shop
I know
rides.
that shop rides. Like those are, and they do, the ones that I know of, very good job of being welcoming and inclusive because that's what a shop ride should be. Yeah. And then like you'll never find me at a shop ride because to me it's like
you're very exclusive.
You are
an asshole.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's exactly it. Like
there should be an asshole ride.
Exactly. Like, oh, you want a drop ride? Come on down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
but
called Thursday
after
Night
that,
World.
a century or a Fondo. That'd be your next step.
Yeah.
It's just like getting into running. You go to the local 10K.
Totally.
Yeah.
You
hope to meet somebody there.
Yeah.
I think another really useful tool is social media here, because when you go out and about, there are people.
That's very true.
Yeah, and there are people in the community that wear their kits. When we ride out and you see an Arrive kit, you can go to social media. You see an ODZ kit or whatever the hell, you can go and they have some sort of social media, and you can reach out to them that way. Somebody's gonna have you can DM them, and somebody's gonna respond eventually. Because I'm gonna be honest, and I know that each and every one of the clubs in Spokane is not swimming in DMs and losing track of who's messaging them.
Yeah.
So just if you want to see a club, message them. If you want to join on, I guarantee that they're going to have some sort of fun group ride eventually at some point in their duration of existence. So
yeah.
use that tool as well.
Just find what you want, because like if you want to race, then find a racing
And
team.
the
If you want
local
a club,
training
like
race. I mean, you can look up the local training race in Spokane, and I bet you find the one out at the.
So to refer back to our opening question, like a bad date, is it okay? And we can all agree that every club has a different dynamic, a different personality. And it's funny, it kind of takes on a personality. The entire group does. Is it okay to go and ride with a group? You dropped it. I do it all the time. Is it okay to go and ride with a group and go, this isn't the mix for me. I don't like mannequin. I'm leaving. And bail. And if they see you a couple weeks later in a completely different kit,
ignore them.
Is that ignore them? Is it okay? Is it okay to break up with somebody but still see them at the dance 2 weeks later?
Of course.
Yeah.
I think so. It's because
But really, is it? Will that team look at you and go, yeah?
If
pompous
they
prick.
do, then they shouldn't. Like that.
You shouldn't have
made
been
a
with them in the
very
first
good
place.
choice.
Yeah.
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 I mean, great question, but I think that personally, find whatever group jives with you.
Yeah.
You guys are a bunch of friggin' ass clowns, and I love hanging out with you. It's like it's one of those things where there's like a whole.
Wait, you were talking
plethora
about us?
of-
I think he
Straightforward.
was.
Yeah,
No, really.
there's a whole plethora of people that I could ride with in Spokane, but
You know what?
somehow I
If
chose
we're-
to be here.
Sam-
Why am I here?
Not only are
you're
we
an asshole.
ass clowns, but we all float down here, Sam. That's a clown joke.
It is.
You
It's
guys
a
get
good
the
joke.
Pennywise. Jack's like, what?
Don't get
It's
it.
a good book, dude. Read it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there for now because just in terms of time, and I do want to do a quick check-in with Sam for a quick tip by Ambassador Cycling, ambassadorcycling.com. I hope you have one.
Yes.
I'm sure you always do.
I always
Be sure
do.
and check them out.
Bike
Get fit to
fits
get
are
fit.
rolling in right now, which is awesome. But yeah, like I'm gonna once again touch bases on this bike fit that I did with my friend last week, and not only was I able to educate him on like teaching him all the shifting, like when you start to go up a hill, like shifting twice with your right shifter and then once
So
with
many
your
of those
left,
things
so
that
it's
I
like-
don't think about anymore.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're just like those little pieces that make bike riding so much better. But man, you should have seen how far off he was. It's like, is it weird that I can't touch the ground, when I'm riding my bike? And I'm like,
Oh, shit.
I'm like, oh, I mean, maybe. But then, like, he gets here.
Over
and
his
he-
frame?
What, with his hand?
Oh, when he's, like, he can't put his feet down when he's on the saddle.
So,
And-
but not his frame.
no,
Not
not
a
on
frame.
the frame. The frame is good, but I was like, I don't, maybe, like, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, if you just step off the bike, like you can, but no, his seat was so high that like he was just having to reach from side to
Did
side.
he adjust it
Oh,
himself?
my God.
I mean, he just like hopped on it and started riding, and so anyway, like just do your.
Did I also mention I'm pissing blood?
Yeah, exactly. Right? I mean, like, you're totally loaded on your sit bones the entire, not even your sit bones, the whole time, all the soft tissue. So, like, just get your generic bike fit. Like, when you buy your bike, and that's why, once again, shop your local bike shop, because they can do a general sizing for you, which you nailed the term sizing. I love that. There's a difference between sizing and fit, right? And sizing, they can do that for you and get you set up so that you're within a safe thing. So if you're starting out 100%, it is very important. It doesn't mean you have to go and do a full fit, but go to a bike shop and get a general sizing.
I like that.
Yep.
Let's end with a little game. No, not that one. Let's end with a little game. It's time for a game. We haven't played a game in a while.
I'm ready.
The Packfiller games. And I like it is because Jack's here. It's an honor of Jack being here. So tonight we're going to play What's My Mastodon Handle? That's right. With Twitter slowly spinning down the toilet bowl
I don't even know what
I don't
you're
know what
talking
that
about.
means.
None of us
in
at
the
table.
middle of describing the
Okay.
fucking
Yep,
game,
yep, we're
and
here.
you guys
We're all
started talking.
preschoolers.
But Paul didn't.
It's
All
just you
sitting
and
here
I.
and waiting, and all of
It's
us are just like interrupting.
Just you and I. Because I want to win the freaking game, and I'm keyed in to what he has to say.
do you
So
have-
shut your freaking mouth.
Do you have two turntables and a microphone over there?
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
He's waiting
no, we're
like a
done
good
now.
teacher will. Okay, go.
Oh my god.
Assholes. I was rolling into it. Great, the theme music was playing. You lost my mojo. What's my Mastodon handle? That's right. With Twitter slowly spinning down the toilet bowl into hysteria and racism, many people have been searching for a new source for social media. And with that, just like moving from junior high to high school, comes an opportunity to change your image as well as your name. Right? I'm going to provide each of you with a made-up social media handle on a new social media platform. Okay? You get to pick who it is. So, for example, if I were to say Mr. 5 Yellow Jerseys or something
Paul.
like that, Paul would say
I would say Bernardino.
Bernardino, probably. Yeah, that'd be a good
I
one.
get it.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
That's because I listened.
I was gonna
I
say
understood.
internet.
Yeah, Paul
These
was
guys
listening.
are like,
Yeah.
We all listen.
I mean, I'm going to do terrible at this, but I get
Yeah.
it.
So we have no. Some of them you might actually get. So I have to go Jackson. I have to go Sam.
It's
I
okay.
have to
Some
go Paul,
active
I have
listeners
Okay,
to
so
are
go
the
just
ones
to
that get
be
in
sure,
trouble.
like,
active listener.
once
That's
again.
that's just barely hearing, is what it is. It's just
No.
like
I thank you very much. I graduated college on being an active listener.
I participate.
Yeah.
you know what they say. Half the world's doctors finished in the lower half of their class.
Well, this theater
I
major
know
didn't.
about
So.
that.
Yeah. He's not here to defend himself.
I know. He's actually really good, too. I just will
He
never
is.
tell him that.
He's on the shelf.
Yeah.
Elf.
Let me know.
All right, number 1. You got to chime in with your name, and then I'll let you
just
know.
like I did.
Sam.
Just like Paul did.
See,
Num-
no, you can't be doing that.
The first one. Mr. One Shy in July.
Jackson. Peter Sagan.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Mr. One Shy in July.
Paul.
Paul.
I will say Roglic.
Sam.
Nope. Sam.
Cavendish.
Mark Cavendish.
Oh, that's a good one.
Let go! He only needs one more. See, I'm on.
He does. Yeah.
I'm here.
So we're
You
on.
are good at this.
Number
Yeah.
2. Number 2. Too old to talk on the peacock.
Paul.
Paul.
That would be Phil Liggett.
That is Phil Liggett.
Oh, was he taken off?
No, he
He's
owns
Still
it.
there.
Oh,
He owns
oh.
the show. It's
Yeah.
like what
I don't
get
watch
to
that.
say as long as I won. Number 3. At Dickhead.
Paul.
Paul.
Jackson.
That would be
Jack.
Patrick Lefevre.
No.
That's who I was going to say.
Jackson. Is it one of the Williams brothers? Is it Justin Williams?
No,
It
I
is-
love knowing how many of you guys. Although these all could technically be right, but there is only one at Dickhead.
Jack.
Jack.
Lance Armstrong.
Come
That's
on.
correct.
Yeah, as soon as you
yeah.
said that.
He's
There's
going to
only one
sue
guy.
me now. Number 4. Vontu 5K.
Sam.
Sam.
Pidcock.
Oh, Jackson. It's Chris Froome.
It is Chris Froome because he ran up the
Yeah,
marathon.
yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I get it.
Number 5. Trying to sleep here. Trying
Jackson.
to
Jackson. It's Matthew Vanderpool.
Matthew Vanderpool.
Oh, Jesus.
Take it back to the tapes.
Number 6. At Tarmac Magnet.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Oof. That's Geraint Thomas.
I will take Geraint. I would take Primoz.
Roglic. Yeah.
I would take Richie Port.
Yeah. Richie's retired, though, this year, right?
Yeah, he's done.
Last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7. I should say at before all of them, shouldn't I?
Nah, we know.
At Free Stash Rides.
Paul.
Paul.
Ashton.
I would
Yeah.
take Ashton Lambie or
Yeah.
Pete Stetina.
Oh.
What about Magnus Court?
Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot
that
about
would
be
Court.
another
I
one.
would take
Yeah.
him too.
But
Yeah.
you were too slow.
Yeah, you weren't too slow.
That's fair.
Number 8. At Vollerballer.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Demi Vollering.
Demi Vollering.
Never.
Because she's a baller. Because she's a stud. Jack, how are you doing over there? Is your mic
Great.
still working?
Yeah.
Apparently.
You got one, though. Number 9. There are only 3 left. At Dirty Goat.
Paul.
Paul?
Thibaut Pinot.
No. Oh, God, that would be really
What
good.
is goat?
Because he's a goat farmer.
Yeah, and he had that dirty goat on his lap with
Did.
his kid.
I'm going to give Paul a point regardless.
Well,
I'm
Jackson.
going to give Paul a point. Jackson?
Were you mentioning Ted King in that one?
Nope.
Oh. Because he rides on dirt.
Dirty Goat.
Oh, dirty. Oh, okay. I get it now.
I'm thinking like a
Jack.
drug doper.
Jack.
Mark Matteo.
That's
But
good. I
did
like
he
know-
won 2 Paris
yeah,
Roubaix?
he did.
I think I know who
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Sam, and it's Marco Pintani.
No.
Is it-
No, it's a
it is.
crosser.
Is it Julian Alaphilippe?
No, it's Nino Schurter.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's the
that?
greatest of all. He's the greatest mountain bike racer
Oh,
now.
oh,
Most wins.
okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm thinking dirt, like
Yeah,
you
I was
know,
thinking
dirt.
Roubaix.
Yeah, he's on the dirt.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on,
I get
people.
it.
Number 10 at Just Plain Goat.
Jackson.
Sam,
I think Sam got that
Yeah,
one.
you can
you
have that
took the
one.
last
You can
one
have
that
that
like
one.
Justin Williams.
Jack.
No,
It's
Paul.
Eddie
Pinot.
Merckx.
no.
Pinot.
it's Mariana Voss.
It is Mariana Voss.
Oh,
Just
wait,
Plain greatest of all time.
Well, why is Eddie not also? I mean, come on.
Number 11, First
Oh, I said
Goat.
Just and I
Jackson. it's Eddie Merckx.
Fuck you.
Paul's like, I'm pissed. Paul got second with 3 points. Sam and Jack got.
One.
How did you guys both just get one?
I don't because I called
these guys are
Sam multiple
fast.
times and I wasn't giving it.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta be-
Yeah, I think preferential to Jackson, and I called
Yeah.
Jackson twice.
You called
For some
Jackson?
reason,
You just
I
said
said Jackson twice. So apparently,
Wow, you guys got that. You guys actually connected with the game.
Yeah, you did
I'm
great.
really
It was
happy.
fun.
It was a good game.
I'm really
It was a good
happy.
one.
It's all my work is done. So final question, final question for everybody, and you guys you can't be too long with this one. Yeah, because we're at 125. By the way, I hit record today. Who is someone you think we should be looking out for prior to the Tour de France? Doesn't have to be for overall win. Could be for sprints. Could be for anything like that. Who is a rider
Tour?
at the Tour? For example, Matthias Skelmos from Trek Segafredo.
third place.
I don't know
Swiss?
if I got his. No, he won
Third.
Tour de Suisse.
Oh, he won.
Yeah, he
I
won.
thought IASO won.
No.
He got second.
Oh,
I honestly knew nothing of the guy beforehand, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because he's 20 years old.
Yeah, are we seeing a
Yeah.
generational shift again? And this is somebody I think I might need to do some homework on before the Tour de France starts. That's my example of how you would answer that question. Who wants to jump in?
Me,
Yeah.
Nielsen Palace, staying American. He's on the uptick. Last year he did
I
great.
just need the national anthem to play in the background whenever
every time.
you speak.
Every time.
And he didn't speak French.
He didn't. And I didn't have to
that stupid French
work on my remote to figure out how to get him to quit speaking the frog language.
I went dubbed.
So
Dubbed.
you're Nelson Palace.
Yep.
Nelson could have a good tour.
I
could have a
really
good
do think he could. I don't like he's not going to do overall. I just think
Yeah.
that he could stage hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be good. It'd be good. Anybody
Is
else?
Evanderpool going to?
Evanderpool?
Yeah,
Evenepoel.
Evanderpool.
Evanderpool.
Is he going to ride? Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because
yeah.
the Giro was kind
He
of.
and also Roglic.
I knew
downplayed
Roglic
all the
wasn't,
time.
but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if he goes, I don't know who Intermarché are bringing yet to the tour yet. But if Biniam Girmay goes, I think that Wout van Aert has his one and only challenger for the green jersey.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Wout
seen
says he's not going to go for it. It's all in for the yellow.
He has to say that after the Tour de France Unchained.
because I was
He's,
if he however does,
he has a really deep
When you're
voice.
that
For those
great-
of you who couldn't read,
I agree. If
who
he's-
didn't want to
yeah.
read and
Yeah.
follow my voice, I am not going for the green jersey.
But if he doesn't go for the green
He has
jersey,
a
I
super
think
deep voice.
if he doesn't go
He
for the
does.
green jersey, it'll be a everybody let Peter get it. It's his last tour type of thing. But I don't think anybody's that giving.
No.
I think it'll be Girmay if he doesn't go for it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Mark Cavendish is going to be a surprise.
You think he's gonna take
gonna
a
get
stage?
more than a stage?
What?
Two stages. He's going to surpass Eddie.
I do
a
think
lot
I'm
to
going to
ask for a
say
Astana.
kind of like at the Giro, like Geraint Thomas. I do think that British cycling will back him.
He's riding very well, and he's psyched. He's going out in
British
style.
cycling has nothing to do with it. He
no, I
rides
get
for
that.
Astana.
I get that,
Yeah,
but I'm
but-
saying that like they want that record.
Yep.
And so I think that a lot of British riders are going to be like, yeah, let's get him a win.
Yep.
Oh,
I get what you're saying,
I
yeah.
see what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
Like
Just like
Geraint.
just like
Yep.
what
With-
Geraint did.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm excited to watch
That's a
it.
good call.
Paul, bring us home. Who you want to pick out?
I don't know if he's lining up. He's a young guy
Eddie
in
Merckx,
Bora.
he's retired.
No, I know that.
Oh,
This
okay.
is actually a guy that's
Stephen Roche.
he's still shitting green. I think.
Oh,
It's,
green.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna think of that with the jersey.
I think his
Oh,
name
man.
is Brooken. It's
gotta be
or
German.
something. No, he's Belgian.
Oh, he's Belgian.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's a fantastic young. I think he won the Lavier last year, and he's with Bora. he's amazing. He's a superstar in the making.
Wow.
So I don't know if he's going, but
He won Avenir?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right, there we go. There are just a couple teasers because next week I think is our genuine
Selection
preview
week.
show.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to pick and we got to come up with a punishment, and none of you people have had a really bad beer yet.
Well,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
won.
I'm not
No,
seeking that.
You and I
You
won.
think-
You and I tied.
Yeah, I'm gonna still count it as a win.
Okay.
You
Me
think
too.
I'm going to say, hey, when do I get to drink
Where's
that
my
shitty
Steel
beer?
Reserve?
Yeah.
Do you want me to bring
Come
in some
on.
shitty beer for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was him and
Wait, let's just do
And
it this
David,
weekend.
David,
Yeah, are we just doing it this weekend?
should we?
Yeah.
Let's just do it this weekend
Let's
and
do it
then
this
get some
weekend.
video footage of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Before the
You guys are
ride.
shotgun Steel Reserve.
Yeah, but we both
8 a.m.
So
He
it's
likes
just me.
Dave
No,
likes
it's David's tied.
Dave?
He's got a
Yeah,
good
but
one, too.
he's not in the picture. He's working night shift. He's not even
David's gonna be there this weekend.
riding.
He's not riding.
Oh, the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Paul's not going to be
I'm
there.
not going to be there.
Well, we'll get them both at specific times. So we'll
Yeah.
make
Alright.
David do one this weekend, and we'll make Paul do it. some
There we
other
go.
time. There we go.
Yeah, they don't have
Individual.
to do it together.
No, yeah, it's
No,
not
it'd
a
be
It's
great.
not a party.
It'd be
partners in
great to
crime.
do it together, I think.
And beer 4 mile is happening. We all agree. Beer 4 mile is happening. All right, there we go. Thanks, you guys. This brings us to the end of another Packfiller podcast. Jack,
Hey, it's been a pleasure.
thanks
Thank you.
for being
Good
here,
being
man.
back.
Good to
Yeah,
have you.
yeah, exactly. Nice hat too. For everybody, like us, rate us on iTunes. You just rate us on iTunes. I'm fine with it if you give me a
Spotify,
4-star. I will
Google,
find you. Yeah, Spotify.
Everything.
Yeah,
Anywhere,
yeah.
find you.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Send us your questions.
Pandora, all those. Take us home, man. Those are actually great. You came up with the things I was supposed to say, but I wouldn't
yeah.
have remembered to.
Do
So
all
I
of those.
appreciate that. Yeah,
Yep.
and I would have ended it with an S.